One clap, ready?
Clap it. Woo!
I think you have to clap too, actually, because there's two. Okay. At the same time. 1, 2, 3. That's the one we're going to key on.
Love it.
Okay. Welcome back to Little Talk, November 2nd.
God, November, dude.
I know.
What?
I know. Some months go fast, some months go slow. I think this is going to be a fast month because of we're about to enter holiday season.
Did I tell my analogy about the Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
You did, and someone else told me that same analogy in another meeting. And
Friday, Saturday, Sunday is October, November, December.
Yeah, who else told me? Someone else.
Maybe it was me twice.
No, it was someone else.
Oh, wow.
Because
really?
I said we just talked about this on the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember who that was, but yeah.
Well, here we are on Saturday.
Here we are on Saturday.
It's crazy. Dude.
Saturday morning.
But
this is Saturday morning.
The cool thing is, on Monday, we got to have one of our time-honored traditions here at the agency that we have not had in 2 years because of frickin' COVID. The Halloween party.
Yeah, the
with
little
kids.
Little ones came up.
And we have a lot of little kids right now.
You know, it wasn't just COVID that kind of nixed the Halloween party. We went all the kids. I was telling somebody this. I've been here 10 years. All the kids that we used to have come up are adults now. Yeah, so
they're too cool.
They're too cool for it, and we just needed a new influx of babies. And there's been so many babies,
dude.
And there's still babies coming.
So many babies. We have all the babies coming.
A lot of babies. So there's a lot of baby action going on. We had a lot of kids at Halloween. It was fun. It was cool to see people.
Cute. Yeah, Julie Swab came up with Johnny, which was that was a nice surprise.
Yeah,
I didn't have any idea that she was doing that.
She's really leaning in on her surprise appearances right now, which we like.
Well, and I know it's kind of Tinder time because she's got 1 month left of maternity leave, and then she's back at the agency. Yeah, that's always tough on the mamas.
Yeah, but we'll like to see her.
Oh, I'm so excited to see
her. And Sydney's winning streak continues. She won the costume contest.
You got to tell the
So anyone that's been to the agency and has been into the presentation room, or what's what we call it's called the den technically, or if you've been on a Zoom meeting with us, you might see this figure behind us at the table. It's a giant bear.
It's like probably 4.5, 5 feet tall.
It's not. I don't think it's a real bear. It's like a giant stuffed bear, looks fairly real and has kind of human teeth, which is the thing that freaks me out.
Human teeth has a little top hat,
a little baby tuxedo.
And it, holds a little tray with some coffee mugs and just like napkins, coffee stirs, etc.
Yeah, it's there. It's there to serve.
Yeah.
Oscar is the bear's name,
Great guy.
which I didn't realize till recently. But the bear's name's Oscar. He's an unusual fixture in that room, and Sydney dressed up like that bear, Oscar.
Oh my!
And it was pretty good. She had a top hat. She made a vest.
She had this bear top thing too that went on over her head.
Yep. She had brown Crocs to resemble feet.
Check our Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah,
it's on there.
It's up there.
And by the way, how many votes did she get out of the 17 that voted?
So the agency votes, we have a secret ballot and do a little fishbowl thing for best costume, and I think she had all but 2 votes.
She crushed it.
Yeah, I voted for
Sid, I did too. How could you not vote for Sydney? I mean, it was amazing. So it was great. It was fun seeing the kids. Matt was an elf. I loved having him up here at the agency. He ate his first chocolate bar, little bitty half of a mini Snickers.
Was Tara watching?
Not at first. Then she caught wind, and that Snickers disappeared.
Oh, no.
Mama.
Well, Halloween's a good time anyway. By the way, one other thing.
Yes. Sydney's
mom also won their office Halloween costume contest. She was not a bear. And I asked Sydney, I said, oh, what was she? She goes, oh, I don't know. She goes, but I told Mom I won. And she said, I won mine too.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. God, I love the Brown family.
Yeah, and they bought all of our lottery tickets last night. Sydney. Yeah, so I'm hoping that winning streak continues.
By the way, if we win, this is our last podcast.
I'll still do it. I mean, I got to do something with my days. We'll have better equipment, though. I'll tell you that.
We'll have some really nice equipment. And we got some exciting news next Monday. We have a new project manager starting.
Yeah,
Brenda Lewis.
Roop
loves that name.
I like it because it's a name from a simpler time, and I don't mean that in a mean way at all. I grew up with a friend named Chris Smith. You know, if it were John Smith, I think the only way it could have been more kind of like this is a name, right? Yeah. We get people. Natasha's new, but Natasha is not someone I've known, so it's hard for me to say Natasha.
Natasha, yeah,
right.
Natasha.
But usually, I can't even pronounce Tom's last name. I don't even. It's
Fennessy.
I'll probably. Well, I might.
I think you got that.
I might figure it out. But like, we usually have these. My name's Roop. We have these weird kind of things.
Just kind of.
Brenda Lewis is kind of throwing me for a loop because it's a straight just
Brenda.
That's
Lewis.
A name. There's nothing unusual there.
No, she's we Brenda's been at the Tulsa Chamber for 5 years.
Mm.
She is so sharp, carries herself very well. No doubt she'll be a great fit. And no doubt her job is she manages client relations on the chamber side. And we're talking from small businesses to the big boys, the big oil and gas boys in town.
Yeah.
And she's the liaison. So I think it's going to be a natural fit. We've got our staff meeting on Tuesday. She'll introduce herself with some About Me slides, all that fun stuff. Icons. We got that hooked up.
Oh, you already asked her about the icons?
Yep.
Okay.
She's going to be ready to go. But anyway, Brenda, doubt you're listening, but welcome. And we're excited to have you at the agency next week.
Part of Littlefield new employee orientation is going back and listening to all the podcasts. So she'll get to this sometime.
We just implemented the new employee checklist, and it's like you have to take the initiative. Hey, set a meeting with Roop to discuss Roop.
Yeah.
Hey, we should have listened to 2 podcasts
and subscribe. Oh, I like this. This is a good idea.
Before we get into our new clients, Roop, what are we doing next Tuesday?
I don't know. What are we doing?
Next Tuesday evening.
Oh my God, that is yeah.
And we'll report in full detail on Wednesday.
For those who have listened to every podcast, early on we talked about trying to grow our subscribers.
We wanted over 100 followers.
Over 100, and we hit that.
And now we're at over 250.
Yeah, and the reward was, Sam's reward to me was a steak dinner. But I didn't know it was going to be Bull in the Alley steak dinner.
At one point I asked you, I was like, if you were to go anywhere, you're like, man, I'd go to Bull in the Alley.
Did I say that?
We were going to, I took note.
I thought I said I hated Bull in the Alley.
Do you hate Bull in the Alley?
I've only been there once, but I've never eaten there. And Carrie's always on me about it. She's like, "Why? It's really good. You should go."
That's what it was.
So you said, "Whoa, then you got to have the food."
Because we're going to have some bacon. Yeah. We're going to have some steak.
Yeah.
Some cocktails, some wine. It's going to be.
I've only been. I went in there. I went in there late. Sat at the bar for a minute with I think probably Carrie, and we were there for maybe 20 minutes or so. And I was like,
No, this is. I was going
to. But everyone loves it, so I want to be. I want to be immersed in the full.
I was going to take you to the Summit Club, but you've had Summit Steak, fantastic.
Yeah, really good.
And we're going there for Christmas. I was like, we got to switch it up.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, that'll be a good time. So, anywho, we got a couple new clients too. That'll be next Tuesday. We'll report in. If we're a little groggy, I blame Roop. New clients. We landed IMSA, the actual IMSA, like the ambulance manufacturer. We are doing a quick project for them between now and the end of the year. We're really excited. Adam, the client, is a cool guy.
Where are they located at?
So they're technically headquartered in Oklahoma City, but they have a field office here in Tulsa, and our client's here in Tulsa.
Okay.
IMSA actually was a former client of ours, and Adam circled back, so we're excited to welcome IMSA back.
Yeah, welcome back, IMSA.
MAIP, which is Mid-America Industrial Park, landed them on a quick project. We worked with them last year. They actually, Roop and I just saw this, shout out to Mid-America. Canoe, the EV car company, has committed to a 100,000 square foot manufacturing unit in Pryor. So that's a big win for Northeast Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And last but certainly not least, Signal 4D. David and the crew, Cindy at Signal 4D, we are doing a website for them. They are actually based out of Seattle. We have a client that they've worked with before that referred us, so we are very appreciative. And that's off to a good start.
Yeah, I like it when we're trying to get a Seattle office. So the
Roop
more
really
these clients that we can get in Seattle, the greater.
Samson Rope, which we've had we've been with them for 5 years now.
Yeah.
And when we went and pitched them on kind of a broader scale after our initial website, Roop, Chelsea, Big D, and myself went up there. And God, Roop, you were just happy.
I've been there.
That is very much your vibe.
I've been to Seattle 3 or 4 times, and every time I go, it's better than the last.
Yeah,
I love that town.
It's a great city. It's had its fair share of problems, but it's okay.
Yeah, I think every city does.
San Francisco's in the you know what right now. Jeez,
I heard someone say, and I think this is good, a good way to look at it. The bigger cities that have bigger city problems are because people want to be there. You know, if you're small town Texas, I won't name a name, but if you're a small town Texas and you have no problems, it's probably because no one wants to be there.
Yeah,
you don't have enough people for there to be problems. I'll tell you this, though.
I prefer that, though.
Yeah, I mean, some people do. That's true. I like something in the middle, like where we're at right here.
Yeah, Tulsa's a good spot.
Tulsa's good. Carrie and I watch a lot of murder documentaries and, 2020 and stuff like that. And they always have this line that we think is really funny. Because they'll say, it was a sleepy bedroom community. No one expected it.
It's true.
And we've watched probably 700 of these. And now I'm starting to think, it only happens in sleepy bedroom communities. That's
Totally.
what's every. It's always a sleepy bed. Like that's
Maybe
not
they're bored
true.
or something. Who knows?
Something's going on out there too. But yeah,
So,
anyhow, Seattle.
anyway,
I like Seattle and San Francisco quite a bit.
got
I
some-
think Julie's going to San Francisco here pretty soon.
Julie Evans is.
Yeah.
Jeff's at some conference and she's tagging along, and I
Yeah.
think they're going to go to wine country and all that fun stuff.
I gave him all the places I went,
Love it.
and
good. You did.
Yeah.
Nice.
and I found that restaurant. Yeah, they're going.
Well, we got some great things going on. Like I said, happy November. We got 2 digital trends, our latest and greatest digital trends that are hot off the press as of yesterday via email.
Yep.
If you do not get those emails, subscribe on our website.
Yep, and you have new ways you can experience Little Talks now. So there's Little Talk,
Attaboy.
the podcast that you're listening to right now, based off of Little Bits, the email that went out yesterday. The email links back to an article with fuller bits on the website. You can watch these things now on YouTube when we talk, but we also now have Little Talks, TOKs, that we're going to start putting up on TikTok.
Let's
so
go.
If
I
you're
love
not
it.
on TikTok and you've been waiting, now's the time to get in. Where
Yeah,
it's
it's
really
fun.
exploding, and we're starting to put some content out there. So, you'll like it.
Ripster,
You'll
digital
like it.
trend number 1. Take it away, my
All right,
friend.
digital trend number 1. We've been talking or alluding to this one for a couple of weeks. The hottest app out right now is one where teens have to say nice things about each other, and
So
it's
you all-
called Gas.
You all probably don't know about this app, and that's a good thing. Unless we have a teenage audience listening. I don't think we do.
Well, we draw younger
We do-
demographics
yeah,
in
that is true.
sometimes.
That is very true.
Sometimes, yeah, I probably not, but your kids may know what this app
and
is.
Roop, why gas? What's the meaning behind that?
Oh, it had something to do. I can never remember the name of it.
We're gonna. It's like it's slang.
It's slang
for
for
like we're gonna gas
you up.
Like,
That's it. Like
hey,
pump you up.
Pump you up.
Yeah, it should be called
The kids,
pump.
man. Yeah, I know. Right.
Whatever.
You and I just aged each other.
Whatever. So anyhow, Gas is really popular with the high school crowd apparently, and it's limited right now to a handful of states. It asks teens multiple choice questions about their classmates in school. This seems like a bad idea right out of the gate.
Yeah.
But what it does is let them choose yearbook-style superlatives, such as the most beautiful person you've ever met, or the classmate who is never afraid of getting in trouble, the person most likely to help you if you have a flat tire. Things that are kind of more positive-focused. It's been downloaded more than 500,000 times since late August, which is pretty good. And the goal here is to promote online positivity among teens, which is counter to what we usually hear about teens and social media usage.
Oh my God, yeah.
I think this is a really good idea. I think the app will probably not last, but I think kind of like Be Real was a really good idea that's being adopted now by bigger platforms.
Yep, absolutely.
I think Gas is a really good idea that you could see show up maybe in the form of some TikTok trends or maybe just a whole section. I don't know, but like the idea is strong.
And Roop, why are we talking about this on the podcast for our B2B clients? It's the innovation, right? It's something different.
You're always trying to say, you never know, these things happen and something new is presented and you don't immediately always see how it translates to yourself, but you want to be aware of it so that when it finally does, you're not kind of overwhelmed by it or taken over.
Well,
So the idea that you would be prompted to say nice things about another person, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but boy, wouldn't a brand love it if they could be prompted, instead of negative reviews, someone said, this idea of Gas, what if we took it and implemented it for our we implemented it for our business pages, and we actively asked people to say nice things about businesses out there or their best experiences with them versus the way we kind of have to get reviews now. And honestly, most reviews happen after a negative experience. You would be able to counter that with something like this, and you gamify it in some way. But I think the concept is really, really good, and I don't think it will die here. I think the app will probably not last, unfortunately, but I do think the idea is going to carry on.
When you and I initially talked about this, I think it was last week because we read about it in The Hustle.
Mm-hmm.
It brought me back. I think it was my junior year of college in San Diego. There was a Facebook page that was implemented. There was a tough thing. There was a situation on campus that was just kind of disheartening. And so someone very smart and ahead of their time created a Facebook page called USD. That's University of San Diego. USD ILY. I love you.
Oh.
And you could only, the creator, some people tried to put negative things.
Of course.
They were gone within seconds. But it was, hey, I saw Steve Roop walking on campus today, and God, I love that guy. Just want to give a shout out to Roop, and then 400 people would like it.
Did this guy create gas later on? Because it's the
I don't
same.
know.
It's very
when
similar.
I saw it, it's very similar, but
Yeah.
they just did a Facebook page. I bet I could find the Facebook page.
That's
I'll
incredible.
look it up.
I bet it's
after
still
this.
around.
But I was like, okay, that's when I first read about this. I was like, that in theory was whoever created this at USC's campus.
Yeah.
I've on Instagram I follow Tank Good News. It only posts heartwarming, happy stories.
Yeah.
Which again, that's not a realistic view of the world, but it's a good thing. It's good to see some positive
It's good to have that
aspects,
balance.
For
and,
sure.
And, there's so much negative. I mean, it hits us. It hits us all. There's so much negative, but I think that we're getting to a oversaturation of it in a way that, like, things that are nice stand out now.
Absolutely.
Ted Lasso stands out because that show is about positivity,
good.
being a good human, and treating others the way you want to be treated, which
point.
seemed revolutionary when you first see it. You're like, oh my God, this is crazy. It shouldn't be, but it is. And this is kind of what I think about gas. I think it's the beginning ember of a kind of maybe a little bit of a bigger, I hope, I'm optimistic, something bigger for social media overall and for people overall.
No, I think it's great, and I think it'll be interesting to see how that translates and correlates on other platforms. But let's I love this one
and how it gets monetized.
Of course. Digital trend number 2.
Trend 2. You're going to take this one.
So YouTube adds support for handles, username handles.
Yeah.
Which I think it's like I'm surprised that this is.
If I'd asked you a week ago, you're like, yeah, they did that years ago. Right.
I know. So they want to improve how creators are identifying in their channels. So here's the thing. Is it in beta right now? I'd call it it's rolling out.
It's rolling out right now. So like we talked about this yesterday morning.
And Ditch Witch at the time did not have.
And we went back to our desk, and Ditch Witch did have it.
And the thing is, you can't proactively go in your brand's platform and be like, okay, hey, there's our username.
They notify you when it's ready for you. And you get to, what they do is
Littlefield doesn't have one yet.
No.
Littlefield agency.
No, we don't. I do. Steve Roop did, which is weird.
What? How do you beat us as a brand? Which is great. Good for you, man.
Yeah, I guess.
You're kind of an influencer.
I got it. A few other pages I monitor did, but we haven't yet. I got emails for these over the weekend. They were starting to come out.
But you think about Facebook, @Roop, on Instagram, Sam, whatever it is.
The ability to tag.
It's like, ability to tag and engage. I'm surprised they're this, I don't want to call it late to the game, but they kind of are.
But you know what? YouTube did not have a great need for this until they started getting into the shorts business.
Exactly.
And started trying. What they're trying to do is, we always talk about YouTube as the world's second largest search engine, and it is. But they're also a media platform, and they're also a little bit of a social media platform because you can comment and share and like videos. They're starting to grow and lean in a little bit more to the social side now and realize, there's some simple things they can do to expand that. And Shorts is a big one. I mean, that's their TikTok, and it has 1.5 billion a month or something users. It's a lot. It's huge. But now you're going to have the same options you do on other platforms to tag other creators or brands or businesses or whatever inside your shorts and your videos.
Could be, and hey, maybe they'll gas them up and say good things, So if you're a brand, a B2B brand listening to this podcast, be on the lookout. Like I said, you can't just log into your YouTube account.
You'll get an email on whoever's the administrator or whatever email created the account.
For sure.
So if it's an old agency you no longer deal with, you may want to get in touch with them.
Which, by the way, happens a lot.
A lot, yeah.
Heck, we're talking to a prospect right now, and he's using his personal logins for the brand, and it's like, whoa, dude,
we should do a whole thing, talk about how to organize your digital self at work.
There's and we dealt with a client last year who's no longer a client, and they had the marketing director from 3 years before that had been fired.
It's not uncommon.
Had the access, and they couldn't get the access.
It's not uncommon.
Call that employee, which by the way is kind of a breach of privacy and all this stuff. So anyway, as a brand, it is really
it's
important.
not uncommon. But if you're looking for your YouTube handle, you'll get an email on whoever created the account when it's ready. I suspect at some point, after emails have gone out, people still haven't reacted to them because I know there's going to be a lot of dead emails out there. They'll probably just prompt you on the screen. But if you're wanting to get it quick before someone else takes your handle, that would be the way to do it. How they kind of default your handle is I thought they looked at the URL, your channel URL, which is not how it works actually. They look at your name. So for my name on YouTube is Steve Roop. So my handle is @SteveRoop, clean. Ditch Witch's channel was CMW Works, which is kind of old. Mm-hmm. But they took the name Ditch Witch and gave them @Ditch Witch by default. We could have changed it, but that was what we wanted, right? And it updated the URL, by the way, too. So
good.
So yeah, whatever your name is what they're going to grab.
Be on the lookout for that email. That is very important.
Yeah.
We don't want to miss that one. Okay, it's November 2nd. Rube, do we have any closing thoughts?
I feel like next week we're doing the podcast early for some reason, or the week after.
I want to say it's the week after. I think we're doing it Wednesday next
Are we
week.
Wednesday? I'm not used to Wednesdays anymore.
And hey, it is Wednesday, by the way. So
Yeah.
you got to get
Real
on
Wednesday.
this. Let's see here. We are podcasting next Wednesday,
Oh, okay.
the day after our celebratory steak dinner.
Oh, okay.
Lovely.
Okay, we'll probably have some stories from that.
Oh,
Perhaps.
for sure.
We were thinking about podcasting from there, but it's dark. We're going to be eating.
Moody.
It's a
You
lot.
don't want to hear
Yeah.
us chomping on some bacon
No.
and some steak.
No.
We'll save that. So
We'll snap a photo though. You'll see it.
okay.
All right, that's it.
Over and out.
Adios.
We'll see
you
you
online.
Bye.